families,
then our marriages are meant to thrive.
We are made for more.
We met at a Medio's Italian restaurant. We were both waiting tables. He chased me for a little bit, but then the more time I hung out with him, I was like, I think I'm really developing feelings for Ben. And we got married July 4th at Cafe Luna in downtown Raleigh. It was a perfect night. It was everything I could have ever dreamed of. We got back from our honeymoon and things were okay for a few days. And I wouldn't say anything happened all at once. It just kind of slowly happened where we weren't putting in the effort that we were when we were dating. I would say our communication style was very much yelling. And then once it got to a certain yell, then we left. One of us would leave. When Ben came back, we never talked about it. And then it was almost like that same day was repeating over and over and over again.
We were kind of just in a spiral of trying to hold on to confidence of being married, and it just seemed like we were grabbing for the ledge to hold on, and a lot of things went unsaid that should have been probably said. It started out as arguing a lot at home, and then going to a separate room or even leaving the house as a whole.
Eventually the arguments weren't as big of arguments anymore, and it was just kind of a thing where I knew when Ben got home, in like 30 minutes he was leaving and he was gonna go to his friend's house and I was just gonna watch Netflix. And that's when, to me, it got really scary because we weren't having these explosive arguments anymore. It was almost like we stopped fighting.
And it was just kind of like, wow, I'm used to leaving at the drop of a hat and going to a buddy's house and hanging out and having some adult beverages and a good time, and now it's kind of checking in first, making sure there's nothing else going on before I can even try to ask about doing something.
The breaking point, I guess, kind of seems a little silly. Putting pizza in the oven one night. I can't even put pizza in the oven. I can't make this guy happy. I can't do anything. And I'm tired of living every day with an argument over something either stupid or something big, but nothing ever being resolved.
It was just such a simple thing, and it was just part of a simple routine of eating dinner, and it just really ended up being the avenue for both of us to kind of get some frustration out.
And then I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I packed my bags and I wrote a note to Ben pretty much stating we needed to work on things, and if he was willing to work, then he can call me, but I'm gonna head out. I started talking to my parents about an annulment, pretty much like our marriage never happened, because I just felt like we weren't even the same people that we fell in love with. We were so different and like complete opposites. We weren't working. And so I was like, well, I need to get annulment done before 6 months, so.
It was the rock bottom that led to the bounce back of, forming our relationship to be stronger than it was. That night, we both realized that we needed help.
We talked about going to counseling, and what we both really came to realize was that we were missing God in our marriage. We noticed a change not only in our marriage, but in us as individuals too.
Pivotal moment for me in my relationship with God and our marriage was just knowing that, hey, there is an enemy and he is trying to rip us apart in terms of our marriage, and it was kind of a good anchoring to the ground that we weren't gonna let that happen.
Our relationship now is steady, it's firm, it's full of love and laughter. But now, because we have God, because we put each other first, because we're committed to each other, we know that we can take on anything that life throws at us.